Hello there, thank you for joining us here on Focus on Africa. We're of course on BBC World News. Now, there were rare scenes in the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo today as thousands of opposition supporters attended a peaceful rally. This was the first authorised opposition gathering in almost 2 years. The official aim of the meeting, well, that was to mark the 28th anniversary of multi-party politics. But since the end of 2016, the opposition has been demanding that President Joseph Kabila step down as his second term had come to an end. Well, the journalist Louise de Vast was at the rally and she joins us now. Louise, what was it like?
The mood was joyful. Thousands of people gathered on the square. They gathered since 11 a.m. in the morning local time, waiting for the newly elected leader of their party, UDPS, to arrive. And people were dancing and chanting. This was the first time that an opposition rally was authorized since 2016, September 2016, but it was also the first time that Felix Tshisekedi, the newly elected leader, was addressing publicly his supporters and members of his party. So really people were eager to hear what he had to say and what his message was in an electoral year.
And very quickly, because we haven't got the best line, Louise, what was he calling for? What did he say then to his supporters?
Started by asking for a minute of silence for his father, Etienne Tshisekedi, who is a historic opposition figure here in the DRC. He thanked the police for letting them gather peacefully, and this is really the main. The meeting was peaceful, and again, this hadn't happened since 2016. A meeting like this hadn't happened since 2016. So it was really a test for the party, but also for the country, which is very important, as I mentioned, in an electoral year.
Louise, speaking to us there from Kinshasa, thank you very much. Well, with me now is the founder of the Save the Congo campaign, Vava Tampa. Thank you very much for joining us,
Thank
Vava.
you.
What did you make of today?
Well, today was, in terms of PR speaking, a great PR stunt that Mr. Kabila has done.
It's a stunt.
Indeed. I mean, what we saw today on the ground, it wasn't just, there were two meetings. One was happening in Luanda, in Angola, where the head of the SADC were meeting to evaluate the state of affairs in Congo, which is essentially another way of saying evaluating how the electoral process is going in Congo. And because of that, Mr. Kabila understood he could not prevent UDPS from gathering and rallying together. So he allowed them, and in doing so, he was able today essentially to tell other SADC leaders that, come on guys, calm down, give me some peace, let me carry on. I'm opening the political space.
They wouldn't have fallen for that, though.
Well, that's the issue. But when you look at the situation, it's to say, well, look, on the ground today, for the first time in almost 2 years, that UDPS is gathering together to organize a rally. It makes it really difficult to sort of pressure him a lot more. Whereas actually on the ground, the situation hasn't changed. So opposition figure, Diomi, Diongo, Muyambu, Jekoko are still in prison. Katumbi is still in exile. So nothing concrete has happened on the ground. But Mr. Kabila was able today to get away with simply slap on the wrist.
Well, Botswana have been speaking up about this as well, haven't they? Is that unusual for them to speak out against the DRC?
Botswana has been leading this fight, and we are incredibly grateful for Botswana for leading this fight. But one thing must be made clear: the only solution to this crisis clearly is having free and fair and transparent elections. And the only way we could have that free, fair and transparent election to end the political violence and to end the humanitarian crisis is without Mr. Kabila. We cannot guarantee to have free and fair transparent election under Mr. Kabila, and because of that, what we have been pushing and what we are asking Botswana and South Africa and Angola to actually push now is to push for the elections to happen without Mr. Kabila through a transition period led ideally by someone like Denis Mukwege, so that we can end the crisis engulfing Congo as we speak.
Well, we have to say that we have been told that the elections are due to take place on the 23rd of December. So
Indeed.
Let's just say that they do go ahead.
Yes.
Are you not confident that they will be free and fair and non-violent?
It's difficult to be confident at this point. I'll give you a few examples. So all the key opposition figures are either in prison or in exile. So that's one question. Another issue we are facing, which is the voting system. The government has put in place an electronic voting system, which has been universally rejected. Even the US, which has given Kabila an extra year, has sort of said that has to go, but the government continued to insist on it. And we saw what the electronic voting system did for Kenya. And in addition to that situation, we find ourselves in a country. So let's take Kivu, for instance, the 2 provinces in Kivu. Those 2 provinces alone would produce 120 members of parliament, and Kinshasa, which has 12 million, which is almost twice the number of population in Kivu, would only produce 54 members of parliament. So we have all of these things in place, which tells us, you know what, Mr. Kabila wants to cling in power, and the only solution, push him out, have a transition led by Mukwege, so we can have free and fair, transparent elections.
Okay. Vava Tampa, thank you very much. We'll be watching this very closely, as I'm sure you will as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.